This is advice from my 72-year-old father. Now, before we get into it, we're going to talk about who he is, why his mindset is so different, and obviously, which doesn't help as to why mine is different. Um, but obviously, my dad's 72. I'm 27. What is that? A 45-year difference. So he was born in 1952. I call him an old hippie because when he was 18, it was the 1970s. You know, you kind of put two and two together. He had me when he was 45. I think he was 45, 46, and with that came some really hard stuff between him and my mom. When I turned 2, my dad had a major stroke. With that stroke, he had to learn how to read, write, walk, eat, use utensils, the whole nine. It was really bad. It was really tough. I was only 2, but I do remember running through the hallways. You know, he changed a lot. It's really, he changed. And so my mom left. So it was just me and my old man. You know, it brings up the piece of advice. The piece of advice is to appreciate what you have. So first things first, immediately, my mom left a couple years after my dad had the stroke, and she took their bed. So me and my dad, we shared a bed. And obviously I'm not a small man. I was on a small kid. And it was a twin. So we had a twin side bed. My dad is not a small man either. So we shared a bed. We shared a twin bed for a few years because we just couldn't afford to have another one. My dad worked 2 jobs. He had to put me through daycare, so he could work, which really helped us keep us afloat. And so when he finally got that bed, I could finally sprawl out. He could sprawl out. It was just, sometimes you need to be appreciative for what you have. And the reason I say that is because before he got the bed, he still had a bed he could sleep in. There was still some place where he could put his head at night. It can always be a hell of a lot worse. Not having a bed sucks, not having food on the table sucks. We didn't have AC for a really long time, so summers were just killer. There's a lot of things to be appreciative for in your life. I think we all know what it's like to not have a job. That stress that's there, right? Not knowing when the next money's coming in, or yada, yada, yada. So it's like, it's good to be appreciative for what you do have. And if you have a job, you can be grateful for that. You can be appreciative of it, and just know that it can always get a hell of a lot worse. You don't really appreciate what you have until it's gone. But you can make the choice to be appreciative of what you have now, because eventually some things are going to leave. And so you might as well appreciate while they're here, show the appreciation, and keep moving forward. Because, it's only going to get crazier, like, only more shit's going to happen. I'm only 27. My dad's 72, but he's still going through shit. So it's like, only more things are going to happen. So you might as well be appreciative for what you have in your life now, because things are going to change. It is just a matter of time. So that concludes the video. If you enjoyed it, let me know. If you want to hear some more from my old man, that's just one of thousands that I've heard over the years. So if you want to hear some more of that, let me know down below. I'll see you in the next one. We never went out to eat. We never went out to movies. We never did anything like that. But when we did, man, was it awesome. Man, was it an experience. Whenever we did go out, it was always someplace stupid. It was always some like, we're always like, oh, we wanted burgers. We go to like Burger King or some shit because it was cheap. But we were able to go out, and that was something that was big for us. Was like, oh, we're able to go out tonight. Like that was what was cool to us. And so it's just